You ever like to go to a bar and just order a beer and a shot?
No.
Never done that, huh?
Not my thing.
Yeah, you're not a big shot guy, are you? I'll do a shot every once in a while. That's what I did on my celebrating St. Patrick's Day early on Friday. Because
I'll do beer or shot. I don't like to do beer and shot. Like, what is the buzz that beer and a shot gives you?
Well, it's the alcohol. You chase the beer is there to chase the shot, meaning that the shot usually doesn't go down easy, and the beer helps chase it. But really, it's all about if you just have, let's say, a Miller Lite. That's what I ordered, and a shot of Jameson. Miller. Yeah, give me a Miller Lite, Coors Light. So if you're going to drink a light beer, but you wanted that extra pickup before the Miller Lite was done, I had a good buzz because of that shot of Jameson.
Really?
But it was a big shot. It was a black sheet. They give you a good-sized shot. It's like McCarthy started it back in the day when they're at the old location on Higuera. And now everybody's doing it.
Black Sheep's like, hold my beer in a shot. Let us try. Let us give this a try.
So Budweiser is going to get together with Jim Beam, and they're going to do a beer and a shot beer. It's not what it sounds like. It's called the Budweiser Reserve Copper Lager, which will be aged in whiskey barrels. So it's not like that. I thought, what are they going to do? Try to put a shot in a beer? Like, that sounds disgusting.
So it's only going to taste like it's got a shot of Jim Beam in it?
Yeah, George and Brendan from Central Coast Brew have been in here before. They've done some stouts or some darker beers that they've aged in whiskey barrels. I don't know if you remember that. They've brought them in before, and they're pretty good. I think a lot of brewers still kind of mess with, wine barrels or whiskey barrels. And so you get that flavor, but it actually will kick up the alcohol a little bit too because of that residual whiskey that's still in the barrel. So
it's like secondhand whiskey.
This has got to be, right. I'm going to imagine this has got to be a little, maybe a little bit higher in alcohol. So it'll be the copper lager will be brewed. I don't know about all this, but with a 2-row barley and aged in Jim Beam bourbon barrel staves. So I'm guessing the staves make the barrel. They put them all together. They take them apart. They throw them in with the beer tank. I don't know, some part of the process, and then it tastes like has an oaky aroma and flavor to it with caramel and vanilla notes because that's what you get out of oak. I know from drinking wine. That's the.
That didn't sound pretentious at all. I know this from drinking wine.
Well, because that's what wine people do is they age. Not everything. Listen, not everything has an agenda. I'm just letting you know that when they put wine in a barrel,
I would know that from drinking wine.
It will get these vanilla and caramel, notes to them from the wood.
Vanilla and caramel.
That's what oak does.
Notes, because I know that from drinking wine.
But it all depends on the oak, whether it's French oak or it's American oak.
Right,
I think these guys
shut up about the friggin' oak. Right?
Well, that's the whole point of this thing, you dumbass. See,
is it the whole point?
There's certain people you can have conversations with.
The whole point of this conversation.
I can't have this conversation with you. You're too ignorant. You don't get it, and you'd rather make fun of it because you don't understand it. And instead of trying to understand it, you're going to try to make fun of it. I dealt with kids like you growing up my whole life.
Vanilla and the oak undertones from drinking the wine.
I'm sorry.
I
really truly feel bad for you. But if you understand oak and you like whiskey and you like beer, then maybe this.
And let me tell you something.
Budweiser Reserve Copper Lager will be for you.
Yeah, because nothing says like, oh yeah, you guys are really knowing what got it dialed in like Budweiser. Budweiser doesn't got it dialed in, my friend.
Listen, if you say it like that, nobody's going to understand what you just said.
I know that from years of drinking Budweiser.
It's the 85th anniversary of the repeal of prohibition from alcohol.
I ain't even got to drink no Gallo to know that.
And that's why they've gotten together to do this. So if you're a Bud guy or you're a guy that likes
caramel notes,
barrel-aged beers.
With vanilla and...
Firestone has been doing it with their DBA for over more than a decade.
Yeah.
Then maybe this is the beer for you.
How do you know that?
Are you still just talking about nothing?
How do you know that?
About what?
About the fact that Firestone's been doing that?
Because I inquire and I read about things that I'm consuming.
Oh, I thought it was because you drank the wine.
What wine?
The one that comes in the
Firestone Walker Brewery does not make wine. I hate to tell you this.
The caramel and the vanilla, but you know that they've been doing it for years at Firestone because you knew that because you are a junior sommelier.
Yeah, you sound like an idiot the more you talk.
That's
not how you pronounce
Jeremy, the junior sommelier.
This fall, you can get this beer. It's called the Copper Lager Reserve. Be great for football.
And bring Jeremy over, and he'll do a tasting with you.
KZOZ.com. It is the home for Man in the Box. All the clues are there. You can log on at any time and find out the clues up to this point, today being Thursday, the fourth clue. They're all there for you. Historic was Monday's clue.
Yes.
All right, and then wine, which, historic places around here are not far.
Which you drink a lot of.
I mean, there's a lot of historic places around here, right? The missions.
All your education's based on your consumption of wine, right?
And then I'm talking about the historic first clue. I haven't even got to the second clue yet.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
I know you're itching to play that. It has an oaky aroma and flavor to it with caramel and vanilla notes, because that's what you get out of oak. I know from drinking wine.
I know from drinking wine.
Okay, you know what? All right, I'll give it to you. Because that's what you get out of oak. I know from drinking wine. Did I say that?
Could you have sounded any more pretentious? And I'm getting beat up on the text line.
Well, yeah, because I think most people realized I wasn't trying to sound pretentious. I was just trying to sound educated.
Mike writes, he says, Jeremy, I don't know how you do it. Jeff is such a freaking jerk, but I'm not the one that said.
Because that's what you get out of oak. I know from drinking wine.
I know from drinking wine.
Well, I was just happening to.
I know this one. That's like when you say that. Remember when we used to work with Lindsay, the girl that used to work with us,
yeah,
and she didn't know anything about radio at all. At all. She came in here and she's like, I just know Facebook and college. That's pretty much it. And so Jeremy would have to explain how things work to her. And he would always preface it he would always say, I know this might be hard for you to understand, but, and then go into, and it would piss her off to no belief.
Because that's what you get out of oak. I know from drinking wine.
I know from drinking wine is almost basically like,
Lindsay.
Yeah, I know. Listen, you lemmings, you idiots, you morons, you novices, you newbies.
Not where I was going.
You newbies. You might not understand this, but it's going to give you these rosy notes.
Caramel and vanilla notes, because that's what you get out of oak. I know from drinking wine. Wine, clue number 2. I'll tell you what was great about working with somebody like Lindsay, and Lindsay became like a sister and love her to death. But I realized that, you can't say that to a millennial. I know this might be hard for you to understand. It's
you can't say that
it's
to
one
anybody.
It's one of their
not even a millennial
top 10 most offended comments you could make.
People don't like it when you say, I know this might be hard for you to understand, and then you try to explain something for them. Because you're saying to them,
I doubt I said it that much.
You're an idiot. No, every single time. Because she would always look at me, and I'm like, I would just shrug my shoulders and be like, I don't know. This guy knows a lot of stuff.
I know from drinking wine.
Good morning. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.